Hello, welcome to Jack's channel, blah blah blah, like, subscribe, and all that blah 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 blah. Remember to leave a comment because that's how I know you care because I'm not gonna pay attention to my analytics that way. Comments tell me things. I do not shut them off like other YouTubers do. I have more important things to do than ignore people. Well, anyhow, this is support course Deku. He has a quirk in this. We'll get to that when we get to that. Alright, so in this story, being told Izuku couldn't be a hero didn't deter him from being a hero. Instead, he pivoted and decided to use his knowledge of heroes from his notebooks and his intelligence to be a support course hero, to build things for the heroes. And in his free time training for the support course test, he crafts gear for Bakugo. However, he intentionally programs a self-destruct code in which the gear will only blow up if the command is spoken in Izuku's voice, and it's a very specific command. Keep that in mind for later.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you would be so kind as to start from there, kitten, that'd be grand.
Okay. During that time, his quirk awakens, and then his mum and him go to the quirk doctor, where they confirm he's a very late bloomer, and learn that his quirk is called adaptation.
Adaptation.
Wait, repeat that?
Adaptation.
Adaptation.
Yes.
Just a different way of pronouncing it. Adaptation.
Sure.
Anyway.
I forget your English.
Adaptation.
Or UK.
His quirk refuses to let him die. However, his quirk usually just mimics another quirk that will cancel out anything that will cause him harm. Such as if he was going to get shot, it would probably copy the Kirishima's quirk and harden his body so the bullet doesn't do diddly shit.
I was going to use the example of, like, if Bakugo throws an explosion at him, instead of it canceling out the force, he literally just becomes Kirishima for a moment. His body hardens so that the explosion can't hurt him.
Technically, he could also become Tetsu, who's able to turn his body into steel, because either way, it wouldn't hurt him.
Yeah, so pretty much, if y'all watch X-Men, it's Darwin from the X-Men comics, and not Darwin from the First Class movie. That guy sucked.
Me, who hasn't read the comic or watched that movie.
Yeah, you should really watch X-Men First Class. It's actually not that bad. It's just they ruined one of the best characters. I will send you a link to a video about that later. In case, back to support course Deku. Back to that.
Later on, about 2 weeks before the entrance exam, he gives Bakubro a gauntlet smaller than cannons, and however with double the power.
Smaller than in canon.
Oh, smaller than in canon, however with double the power.
Yep.
Izuku then goes home to train and study for the support course exam, which we don't know what is because we're never told it.
Yeah, but I did right.
There for current heroes and in hopes of impressing UA.
Yep.
We skip to his first day of being in support course class.
Yep. And that's how I got around that. Us not knowing the things. In any case, first day of class in support course, Power enters class and tells his class, today we're going to have you design blueprints for class 1A and 1B. You are to turn in these blueprints at least 3 by the end of class.
To be fair, I feel bad for anyone that has to make support course armor for Monoma, because he's probably gonna be a dick about it.
Why do you think in canon they just gave him a onesie?
Because he's a dick about it.
You can't really exactly make a.
Be a dick? Fine, be a dick. We're gonna do the bare minimum.
I don't think he has any support items. I think he's just got that weird suit for whatever reason.
Again, bare minimum.
Yeah. In any case, Ken, if you would like to come up with a shite for uh, for what the class the students in support course, just make up a few, and May Hatsume's there, the Izuku's there, and whatever else. Melissa
Izuku
Shield, I'm
makes
gonna
a
say she's
very
in that class because why not?
Izuku's making a support item for Kirishima, Jiro, and I almost said Monoma. I meant Momo.
Yaoyorozu, the rich girl.
Yeah. Um. Me. Me. May. I forget how to pronounce her name. Is making a support item for um um. Here's me trying to remember his name.
Her name, Mina.
Yeah, Mina, but also another guy that I'm trying to remember the name of.
I don't think.
Birdman.
Sorry.
Birdman.
Oh, you mean Tokiyami?
Yes, she's making a item for Tokugami, Mina, as well as Tetsu from 1B.
I actually did have an
The
idea for
other
both Kirishima and Tetsu because I think they're quite well. I mean, Tetsu being turning into metal might negate this idea. In any case,
Tetsu turns into metal.
yeah,
Hiroshima turns into rock. They
yeah.
have pretty similar quirks, so she's making it for Tetsu, but also able to be used by Kirishima at the same time. So technically, she's making three. But technically, it's four because it's for four people. Anyway,
Izuku had designed something for Kirishima. As y'all can see on the image right now that I'm making pop up. Fleur.
I mentioned Kirishima.
Yes, fleur. I can't English today because of reasons. Okay, so Kirishima's support belt is a magnetic is made of a magnetized super metal that will pull any metal objects towards the belt. If they're in flight, it will literally drag them towards the belt.
Basically, if someone's trying to stab him, instead of going to the head, it drags it to the waist where he's not going to get injured. If
Or
someone
if some
shoots at him, the bullet just arcs down to the waist.
Yeah, that was the idea. Like if somebody shoots like a copper or lead or cobalt. No, not cobalt.
Magnesium elements. Metals, I mean.
If they shoot him with bullets, okay, iron and lead and shite. If they shoot metal at
All
him,
types of magnetism,
the
not
belt
necessarily magnetism.
will pull it out of its flight path closer to the ground where it will less likely be capable of injuring him. Izuku also designs a backpack for Jiro, where she can use her headphone jacks to choose randomized items from that backpack to help her in her hero work. And for Momo Yaoyorozu, he knowing how her quirk worked from the files the support course class was given, he decided to create a food fabricator to create food for her, and he was and he designed a infinite energy engine, which he has no
If
idea
she was
how he's
to
gonna
make
make.
a question, if Yaoyorozu was to make food for herself and then eat it, would it take her more energy to make it, or would she get more energy from eating it?
I
Or
don't
would
know
she
about
get
it.
the same amount of energy from eating it as she used to make it?
Well, the thing is, I don't think she can make food. Well, wait, maybe she can.
She can
Well,
make
no,
anything as long as she knows the chemical formula.
and as long as it's not alive. Well, I mean,
As long as it's not alive and she knows the chemical formula, she can make anything. So she could totally make food.
she is a woman. Technically, she could make a baby.
Anyway, That's not with her quirk though. But anyway,
I know, but it's still possible. Momo
well, she
OP.
also make milk for a baby because. But anyway, back to this and not talking about women.
Women, they are queens. In any case, where were we? Before I went to that side
We're
tangent.
talking about what you were thinking for Momo.
Oh yeah, he made a food fabricator and an infinite energy engine to power the food fabricator. Izuku does plan to make them small. Maybe the food fabricator is about the size of an average school backpack or lunchbox. The infinite energy
A
engine
backpack
is
would
about the
be her
size of a
assumption.
canteen.
Lunchbox would be much better.
Like the infinite energy is about the size of a suitcase.
No matter what you give her, it's going to lower her ability to maneuver in some ways, but it's worth it because of what it is.
But giving her food, however, will help her food and make her quirk work better.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say it's worth it.
Okay, after going over that, the support pillars class turned in their blueprints. After class, Izuku turned in his blueprints for a belt for Kirishima, a uh, a backpack for Jiro, and his is designed for a dual-purpose food creator and engine for Momo, so that her quirk will get rid of its side effects. Or wait, Jeff, so that his idea will give her food, so that she doesn't have to deal with the repercussions of her quirk. That. Blah, blah, blah. All right. After class, Zuko goes to 1A to take notes for his blueprint. You can take from there, kid, because I really shouldn't be talking right now.
Well, Azuku, after once entering UA, explains why he's there and goes and basically says hello to the class. Azuku then answers Aizawa for quirk improvement information so he knows how to help with their support gear. He gets some ideas, but not many because Aizawa probably doesn't have that good a feel for all of them. Azuku tells Bakugo about improvements to the hero gear he made for him and ideas for condensed thermal
Oh, right. Let me do that because even out of my mind, I can still English that. Okay. He talks to Bakugo about his ideas for a condensed thermal accelerator for explosive yield pressure. For those who don't understand what that means that he is creating
a
energy.
thermonuclear bomb.
Not really, no. He's creating something to condense the pressure out of Bucko's sweat for a hot or to accelerate the thermal heat inside of its outfit, making it to where the explosive pressure or yield from Baku's quirk causes a bigger damage and a higher area of support. However, yet he does not yet completely understand how to do this, but he does plan on making it. And for those who want a blueprint like a drew for the other two or the other three characters, I will have to consult someone way smarter than me for drawing that. And we're back. I had to do something. If you would be so kind,
Anyway,
kid.
he also mentions a prototype for a
Subdermal
subdermal.
microheater for increased sweat production.
Thank you for
I'm
that.
starting to wonder which I'm
Yeah.
starting to wonder which one's drunk at this point.
I am not drunk. I just cannot English today for some reason.
And I'm the one with an actual excuse for not being able to speak English.
I am autistic. I cannot English on random days for some reason.
Well, mine is three. There's about four, six empty glass bottles around me. That's my excuse for not being able to English correctly.
Yeah. Subdermal microheater for increased threat production. He then turns to to Ochaku and says, "Oh yeah, Yayurika,
Uraka.
Yuraka." As he looks around for her, whichever one of you that is. Based on what I know about your quirk so far, I have two ideas. Owl stickers across your body programmed to massage your stress points and other contractable muscles, or frequency-based physical relaxation therapy as to help with the migraines you get when you use your quirk for long periods of time.
Both of them are designed with that in mind, but Izuku wanted to ask because the paper did say the student was female, and he's like, I probably should figure out something else because both of those ideas are quite invasive and they do kind of have a side effect of making the body overly sensitive, or so May Hatsume did say.
Mm. He then starts thinking about other blueprints as he takes notes on everyone's quirks.
Yeah, he's literally
Aizawa
looking at the
says
paperwork that Aizawa has as he's writing it down.
Aizawa says that they can just talk, and if they want, talk to him because he's going to take a nap as he goes into cocoon mode.
Yeah.
And he then proceeds to walk up to Izuku and say, "Hi, I'm Denki Kabanari, and these are my friends. Shinzo, because, Deku didn't make into 1A because reasons, and
Because he's in the
thus,
support course
because he
instead.
liked the character, he put it Shinzo. Yeah, um, Shinzo Kirishima, I said Kakarot by accident, Mina and Jiro.
Yeah. Izuku looks up from after Denki introduced him and looked up and went, "Oh, Kirishima." Looks at the one that Denki pointed out. Goes, "Ah, yes, shitty hair. I turned in a blueprint for a support item for you. Yoyorozu and Jiro. I think May turned in a blueprint for a student by the name of Mina Ashido. In any case, um, I'm working. We start working on our blueprints tomorrow. But if y'all could give me ideas on where you think would benefit y'all, because y'all probably know more about your quirks than the paperwork we were given does."
Second that he mentioned that May was working on a support item for Mina, Mina instantly just comes elated and goes, "Ooh, what's the item? Tell!" As she jumps up and down in excitement, and throwing doing the fist thing that you do when you're excited, like shaking them up and down,
Yeah.
as you
Uh,
as you as you anticipate the answer.
yeah. Izuku looks at Mina and goes, "Will you please stop that? I swear, your teacher is it's so lazy if you're able to get away with that." Well, here's the thing. I don't know anything about what you're doing, and on what May is working on because I don't like getting too close to her. When she's working on something, it doesn't end well for us. Just earlier today, she wanted to build a prototype for bonus points, and she blew up her desk. So how about not that? How about if you want to know what she's working on, go ask her. But just remember what I said. You want to stay 5 feet away if you value your limbs.
She proceeds to run off to find me to bombard her with questions about her item.
Huh.
Apparently.
Izuku goes, "Oops, did I do something wrong?" Realizing that either Mina's gonna torture May or May's gonna grope the crap out of Mina. And he just goes, I guess that's y'all's version of May Hatsume. That's gonna be fun to find out how that ends."
Hiro, looking quite concerned, goes, if May answers tons of questions about things that excite her, then yes, she is. He
Well,
says,
here's the thing
meet
about that,
her
Miss
again.
Jiro. Uh,
It was soon speaking the weather.
she does not ask too many questions. Actually, I don't like being that close to her, considering explosives. But she can turn anything into an explosive. You just gotta stop looking at her. But no. She loves to put her hands all over other people's bodies. She does not ask permission. She is very overexcitable, extremely talkative, and I swear she's a pyromaniac, but I can't prove it. He also
Hiro just
writes
goes,
down something about Kaminari's quirk.
yeah, she sounds like Mina. But Mina isn't really handsy. She's more just invades people's personal spaces or talking about things that excite her, as well as bothering them non-stop, especially at night, even if they're trying to sleep just to show off dance moves, and keeps offering people or, or to dance lessons, even though we've repeatedly turned it down.
I mean, here's the thing with Izuku looks at her and goes, well, Miss Jiro, here's the thing. I think May is worse than your Mina because May will put her hands in places that I really wish she wouldn't. He blushes, remembering what happened when he first met May, and goes, "Here's the thing: you don't want to get too close to May. Just because it's a girl does not mean it's not groping, and it's very very awkward. In any case, I think your version is better because your version doesn't put hands all over you."
Jiro just goes, to be honest, I think that May and Mina may get along, so you might see her again.
Izuku looks at Jiro, knowing that, and goes, "Is that a threat?" Kind of scared and nervous. And will you guys protect me, please, if that ends up happening? Because I kind of like what's attached. I like my
Every
attachments.
single person in that class, except for Aizawa, who can hear him answer that, instantly in unison goes, nope!
Izuku, Izuku, for the first time since middle school, begins stuttering and goes, "Kachan, help, please."
Oton just turns at him, slightly irritated that he woke him up from his midday nap and goes, "Who can do, Deku?"
Izuku
Deku.
replies, "Bastard, who's useless now?" As his self-defense suit activates, and he just stands there, very, very nervous.
Bakugo just goes back to sleep, not giving a shit.
I'm surprised Baki doesn't say anything about him calling him a bastard or some shite.
No, you can clearly see that he's mumbling something, but no one can hear.
uh, yeah, let's hurry this up. Izuku leaves her home after breakfast with his mom. He goes to his second day of UA. His class begins working on blueprints. They turn in the next day before as the class gets underway, explosions, welding, hammering, and blacksmithing echoes throughout the school. Izuku starts on his practical design or his prototype for an infinite energy engine. If you could start on that, Ken, because it's 24 minutes, we need to stop going on tangents.
Zuko works on maintaining the particle cycling and electron rotation. Energy repulsion pushed everyone and broke his fingers, damaging it and damaging his chest. His gloves activate and force his fingers back into place as his quirk just copies over not copies Recovery Girl's quirk and just his mucus on his fingers is healing it, and his chest plate begins applying ointment to the burns as his upper body he starts doing the same as his fingers. The power generator then stabilizes. Izuku takes out his notebook and notes down the reverb as he thinks of how to use that defensively. He then begins working on the fabricator. Izuku yells and proceeds to yell at May while working, asking her about her ideas for fixing Deku. Keep almost calling Denki Deku. Why do I keep doing this?
You could just call him
So
Kaminari.
I keep almost calling him Carbonara whenever I say that part of his name. However, accidentally call him Deku or Carbonara. It's either Izuku or Pasta. About her ideas for fixing Denki's quirk. Hatsume goes back while working. 1. Don't believe me up, I'm not a doll. 2. You just plan on directing his electricity towards a target. Izuku just responds, whatever, as they both finish their first support items. Tries to plan on how he's going to expand his support item to explain his support item to Yaoyorozu, as Izuku starts testing the food fabricator by making a lemon, which
Yeah, he
ends
creates
up
a lemon in a
accidentally
few other
making a
foods.
lime.
Yeah.
Like, he tries to make a lemon, accidentally makes a lime, tries to make cake, gets pie. Basically, his current fabricator is slightly bugged, where instead of giving him the thing he's trying to make, it gets him something close, not exact.
Yeah, he goes, well, I mean, this kind of sort of works. I guess I just need to figure out why this is doing this. That's the thing, but whatever. Neat. Um, and he'll be working on fixing the bugs in a later episode. Okay, cool. So, anything you want to say to the viewers, kid?
Remember to like and subscribe and come over to my channel, even though it's been dead for a while because I haven't had motivation.
This is why you write. This is why you set a schedule. I upload at least one video a week.
Here's the thing though, I've tried setting a schedule, but because I have no motivation, it gets wrecked by school. Then I try to work around school, it gets wrecked by me not having motivation enough to start working on stuff. Basically, it's either school or my lack of motivation that destroys my schedules.
I recommend the bottom of an alcohol bottle. You might find some motivation there.
I am way too young to drink.
Says who? The law? The prick cares.
I've tried alcohol before. It does not taste nice.
See, this is why you try wine.
Did I never tell you about the time I spat on a priest?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stop the video
It was
because
my
it's
first
28 minutes.